Welcome to another show. Last show we looked at the top 10 Mafia-related movies. This week we're going to look at the top-rated Mafia television series.
Is this Eric Scatino's Jeep?
Yeah, but yours now.
His dad sold it to you?
Yeah, something like that.
And 27, and 28, 29, 30.
I'd say that's pretty disrespectful.
This town is mine? Damn him. How in the name of God did the world get visited by a monster like this?
Since the late 90s and early 2000s, fictional stories about organized crime have been some of the most popular, intriguing, and enticing programs on television. Ever since David Chase reinvented the genre with The Sopranos, there's been no shortage of savvy and merciless gangsters to choose from on the small screen. Why is that? Well, without getting into an elaborate study and thorough analysis of the human psyche, let's just say there's an inherent appeal and thrill in watching extended stories about dangerous, unpredictable, and violent figures who never stand down when it comes to achieving their goals. Mafia-type crime syndicates have rules, structures, and a hierarchy unlike anything else, so they naturally pique the interest of the common person. We fear mobsters just as much as we're captivated by them because they follow a delicate and often arbitrary moral code that allows them to do abhorrent things that we would be incapable of executing. They're often extremely intelligent psychopaths with uncanny confidence and fierce determination, able to walk through hell if they need to and kill without hesitation in order to survive and conquer. They elicit respect and practice terror through intimidation and control, all for a luxurious life that's marred by the need to constantly look over one's shoulder. Here we gather 10 of the best and most engrossing mafia and gangster shows that television has to offer.
Nothing goes down from 110th to 160th unless I get my car. Otherwise, I will shut you down in Dunbar. I will shut you down in Jefferson.
Johnson.
I will shut down all of your spots.
The next show on our list is The Godfather of Harlem, starring Forrest Whitaker.
This is Bumpy Johnson. He's a legend. He took on Dutch Schultz back in the day.
I'm putting things back the way they were.
Times have changed.
This show explores the intersection of mafia and other criminal enterprises in 1960s New York. Godfather of Harlem is an American crime drama television series that premiered on September 29, 2019 on Epix. The series is created by Chris Brancato and Paul Eckstein. Forrest Whitaker is a 1960s New York City gangster, Bumpy Johnson. Whitaker is also executive producer alongside Nina Yang Bongiovi, James Aikson, John Ridley, and Marcuna Smith. Chris Brancato acts as showrunner. Bumpy returned from 10 years in prison to find the neighborhood he once ruled in shambles. With the streets controlled by the Italian mob, Bumpy must take on the Genovese crime family to regain control. During the battle, he forms an alliance with Muslim minister Malcolm X. This is a sort of a prequel to American Gangster from 2007, which starred Denzel Washington. In that movie, Washington portrays Frank Lucas, who in real life ends up seizing control of the Harlem market and all of Harlem from the retiring Bumpy Johnson, portrayed by Forrest Whitaker in this series. However, in American Gangster, he was portrayed by Clarence Williams III, who is best known for his role of Link Hayes on the Mod Squad from 1968. Creators Chris Brancato and Paul Eckstein had previously written and or produced Hoodlum from 1997, a film that is about Bumpy Johnson in the 1930s.
You've been described a dozen different times. A man with a soft touch, or the hard touch, whichever the case may be, when you're passing out slot machines.
You get around, don't you?
The next show on our list, The Untouchables. The Untouchables is an American crime drama produced by Zezalou Productions that ran from 1959 to 1963 on the ABC television network, based on the memoir of the same name by Eliot Ness and Oscar Frawley. It fictionalizes the experiences of Ness as a Prohibition agent fighting crime in Chicago in the 1930s, with the help of a special team of agents handpicked for their courage, moral character, and incorruptibility. Nicknamed The Untouchables, the series was very loosely based on the book by Eliot Ness. He co-wrote with journalist Oscar Frawley, who in turn embellished Ness' role into the fall of Capone. In spite of Frawley's additions in the book, Ness and his 11 agents are not reported as doing much more than busting alcohol shipments and dead bodies. Yet the series had Ness intervening in dozens of totally fictional events, As a witness of the time put it above the series, not even 2% of it is true. We touched briefly on this show in my previous video on the top 10 Mafia movies under the Untouchables movie entry. Walter Winchell received a reported $25,000 per episode for his narration on this series. With his signature machine gun dialogue delivery, he could apparently rack up almost 200 words per minute. The Untouchables return, and the new show is an American crime drama series that aired for 2 seasons in syndication for about 42 episodes. From January 93 to May 94, the series portrayed work of the real-life Untouchables Federal Investigative Squad in Prohibition-era Chicago and its efforts against Al Capone's attempt to profit from the market in bootleg liquor. This series featured Tom Amandes as Elliot Ness and William Forsythe as Al Capone, and was based on the 1959 series as well as the 1987 film of the same name, and ran, as we said, for 42 episodes.
Imagine you were born in a poor family, in a poor country, and by the time you were 28 years old, you have so much money you can't even count it.
The next show on our list is Narcos.
We were witnessing the formation of the famed Medellin cartel. There was Jose Rodriguez Gacha, the Ochoa brothers, Pablo Escobar.
This chronicles the rise of drug cartels with frequent mafia-style operations and intrigue. Set and filmed in Colombia, seasons 1 and 2 are about Colombian narco-terrorist and drug lord Pablo Escobar, leader of the Medellin cartel and billionaire through production and distribution. The series also focuses on Escobar's interactions with drug lords, Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA agents, and various opposition entities. Season 3 picks up after the fall of Escobar and continues to follow the DEA as they try to shut down the rise of the infamous Cali cartel. The directors announced that Season 4 would instead reset as Season 1 of a new Netflix original series titled Narcos Mexico. The new series, released on November 16, 2018, is set in Mexico in the 1980s. Alejandro Eda, who portrays El Chapo in the show, attended the real-life trial of Joaquin Guzman, aka El Chapo, in Brooklyn to further refine his character and mannerisms. Guzman was reportedly extremely excited when he saw Eda in the courtroom. Pedro Pascal turned down the role of a lawyer in Daredevil from 2015 in favor of this series.
Always had one thing we played out together. Keeping blood and greed away from our front door.
The next show on our list is Sons of Anarchy.
To push Sons of Anarchy the hell out of Charming, you comprende that?
We need to prove that the Sons of Anarchy is an ongoing criminal enterprise.
While focused on an outlaw motorcycle club, it features mafia connections and organized crime themes. Created by Kurt Sutter for FX, originally aired from September 30th, 2008 to December 9th, 2014. Sons of Anarchy follows the lives of a close-knit outlaw motorcycle club operating in Charming, a fictional town in California's Central Valley. Centering on both the personal and family life of Jax Teller and on Sam Crow, Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club, Redwood Original. The mother charter of the organization, based in fictional Charming, California. Sam Crow is involved with gun running in the western United States and deals with rival gangs, politicians, and the authorities. David LaBrava, who plays Happy Loman, is a real-life member of Hell's Angels MC. He was hired as a technical advisor, but asked Kurt Sutter for a chance to be on the show. He won't talk about his association with Hell's Angels, though photos of him wearing his kilt can be found online. And he has Death's Head tattooed on him. It is said he's currently an inactive member since doing the show, but is still in good standing with the club. It took some time for Ron Perlman, who plays Clay Moreau, to be cool with his Harley. Initially, he was afraid of it. Actors and married couples Stephen Moyer and Anna Paquin were such huge fans of the show that Kurt Sutter offered them roles. In the final season, Moyer told Entertainment Weekly, "I was going to play a pimp, and she was going to play a whore. We were trying to make it work. We were dead into it. The thing was, we agreed to have some time off after work and the end of True Blood. And we had already arranged it. Anna paid for the flights to New Zealand, and it happened that these bits and pieces were shooting while we were in New Zealand, and she hadn't seen her family. We hadn't been down there for ages. We just said we can't do it. But we were obsessed with Sons, and it was a date night telly for us in that macabre and weird, strange way that Sons of Anarchy became.
Mr. Egan, you're free to go. Marshals escort him back to MCC for processing out of the system.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The next show on our list is Power.
Cristobal and Poncho.
I look like a deputy to you?
Yes, Judge. Any questions?
I got one. You really eat people?
This drama focuses on a nightclub owner who is also a major player in an organized crime. Created and produced by Courtney A. Kemp in collaboration with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, it aired on the Starz Network from June 7th, 2014 to February 9th, 2020. Power tells the story of James St. Patrick, an intelligent, smooth, yet ruthless drug dealer who goes by the alias of Ghost. He wishes to leave the criminal world to pursue legitimate business interests as a nightclub owner. Upon release, Power gained positive reviews and is one of Starz' highest-rated shows and one of cable's most-watched shows. Prior to the 5th season premiere, Starz renewed the show for a 6th and final season, which premiered on August 25th, 2019. The series has led to 3 aired spin-offs and an additional 2 in development. Each season revolves around James St. Patrick making tactical decisions, as one would in a game of chess. The character of James St. Patrick reflects the part of the king. The character of Ghost represents a queen. The characters of Tommy and Tasha are bishops. The character of Proctor and Angela work as the knights. The character of Julio and Dre are used as rooks, or castles, and all other characters on Ghost's side are pawns. This is why the show features so many chess references.
My father's coming.
What does he want?
I don't know.
No lie lives forever, Raymond. It's time to pay the piper.
The next show on our list is Ray Donovan.
What are you doing here, Mick?
You set me up. 20 years.
You deserved it, Mick. You deserve worse.
A fixer for a powerful law firm in Los Angeles, Ray deals with the criminal underworld, including the Mafia. The drama, starring Liev Schreiber in the title role, is set primarily in Los Angeles during seasons 1 and 5, and in New York City during seasons 6 and 7. The main character, Ray Donovan, is a professional fixer who arranges bribes, payoffs, threats, crime scene cleanup, and other illegal activities to protect his, usually, celebrity clients. When the show got canceled after season 7, there was such an outcry from fans that the producers and the network figured out a way to wrap up the story with a TV movie. The character, Sully Sullivan, played by James Woods, is loosely based on Boston's infamous gangster James Whitey Bulger. In the series, Mickey Donovan was a consultant in a film called Black Mass, the same name of Bulger's real-life biopic starring Johnny Depp. Ted Levine is playing the owner of Buffalo Bill's Casino, a great homage to his character of the same name from The Silence of the Lambs in 1991. About her role, Christy Williams said, "Michelle is a really ballsy character. She's independent. She likes getting her own way. She is very present in this world. I think she just does what she wants. Initially, when I read the role, it's a bit scary to play a hooker who is out there. There's nudity. It's a little intimidating. That's also one of the reasons I wanted to do it, to challenge myself. I'm really glad I did it because it's been quite a fun 6 months getting to play her."
Qualcuno ha parlato. Ha chiamato la DIA da una cabina telefonica.
Queste non hanno fatte case qualcuno.
The next show on our list is Gomorrah, an Italian series based on the real-life Gomorrah Mafia in Naples, known for its gritty realism. Created by Roberto Saviano for Sky Atlantic, based on Saviano's book of the same name. The show premiered on Sky Atlantic in Italy on 6 May 2014. The series ran for 5 seasons, totaling 58 episodes, until 17 December 2021. The 2008 film of the same name is loosely based on the same book, but unrelated to the TV series. The series follows Ciro Damasio, a member of the Savastano Camorra clan of Secondigliano, headed by Pietro Savastano. When Pietro is arrested, an internal power struggle breaks out with his rival, as well as between the old guard of the clan and the young guard headed by his son, Gennaro Savastano. Roberto Saviano, who penned the book Gomorrah, on which the television series and feature film were based, has been under 24-hour armed police protection for the last decade. Saviano claimed that when the book was first released, the gang members passed it around as gifts, but as it grew in popularity, his life became under imminent threats.
You live in a house haunted with ghosts of people who died because of you.
The next show on our list is Peaky Blinders.
Very well equipped. You chose your man wisely.
Come on, kitchen now.
Arthur, this lady wants to play in the snow.
No, no snow today. No snow today.
Although centered on a British crime family, this series features mafia-like operations and intense gang rivalries. Set in Birmingham, it follows the exploits of the Peaky Blinders crime gang in the direct aftermath of the First World War. The fictional gang is loosely based on a real urban youth gang active in the city from the 1880s to the 1920s. Early in the casting process, series showrunner Stephen Knight met both Jason Statham and Cillian Murphy in Los Angeles to discuss the key role of Thomas Shelby. Initially, Knight had instantly opted for Statham due to his imposing presence, but later changed his mind and went for Murphy after he received a text from him. "Remember, I'm an actor." That ultimately convinced him to reconsider. Cillian Murphy created Thomas Shelby's walk. He walks exaggeratedly with his arms and chest wide open, and it became a habit. So he walked like that for a while at home right after shooting. This led his wife to tell him to stop walking like that. The real Peaky Blinders were unlikely to carry razor blades in their hats in the 1890s when the gang was really present. They were considered a luxury item and too expensive for the gang to own. The idea of the razor blades hidden in the caps has its roots in John Douglas' novel, A Walk Down Summer Lane.
Mr. Mayor, fellow members of the City Council, in less than 2 hours, liquor will be declared illegal by decree of the distinguished gentlemen of our nation's Congress.
The number 2 show on this list is Boardwalk Empire.
8:03 p.m. Johnny Torrio meeting with Nucky Thompson.
Mr. Torrio, Big Jim Colosimo, Arnold Waldstein, and Charlie Luciano.
Set in Atlantic City during Prohibition, it follows political figure and gangster Nucky Thompson, created by Terrence Winter for the premium cable channel HBO. The pilot episode was directed by Martin Scorsese and produced at a cost of $18 million. Richard Harrow's unmasked disfigured face was entirely computer-generated. Jack Houston remarked that it was accordingly more of a challenge to imagine half of his face missing when he was not wearing a mask. Houston also stuffed cotton into the left side of his mouth to affect his speech and jaw placement. For its first and second seasons, the American Film Institute named Boardwalk Empire one of the 10 best television programs of the year. The series received 57 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, including 2 for Outstanding Drama Series. It won 20 of them.
Forget about the way that Tony Soprano makes his way in the world. That's just to feed his children. There's 2 Tony Sopranos. You've never seen the other one.
The number 1 show on our list, well, what else could it be? The Sopranos.
Yeah, I'm Starsky and this is Hutch.
Are you in the Mafia?
Am I in the what?
Widely regarded as one of the greatest TV series of all time, this show explores the personal and professional life of mob boss Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, a New Jersey mafia boss who suffers from panic attacks. He reluctantly begins seeing a psychiatrist, Dr. Jennifer Melfi, played by Lorraine Bracco, who encourages him to open up about his difficulties in balancing his family life with his criminal life. It is said that during some scenes, James Gandolfini inserted a small stone in his shoe to anger him, making him play the role of Tony Soprano more authentically. He would also stay awake all night for some of the breakfast scenes. Why? Well, he just wanted to achieve a tired look for the scenes. 4 members of northern New Jersey's real-life crime family, the Cavalcantis, were secretly taped in 1999 by federal investigators, talking about the similarity to the fictional DeMeo-Soprano crime family. On the tape, one mobster asks another, "Is this supposed to be us?" And his capo buddy replies, "You're in there. They mention your name in there." Lorraine Bracco was originally asked to play the role of Carmela Soprano, but she felt that the part was too similar to her character in Goodfellas. She described the role of Dr. Melfi, and that would be more challenging. Ray Liotta was approached to play Ralph Separato, but he turned it down to scheduling conflicts with Hannibal from 2001, and because he didn't want to do another Mafia thing. He was also rumored to have been the first choice for Tony Soprano, but he denied this. Liotta ended up appearing in the prequel film, The Many Saints of Newark, in 2021, which was one of his last roles before his death in 2022. The large mugshot on the wall of the Bada Bing's office is 23-year-old Frank Sinatra. In 1938, Sinatra was arrested and charged with seduction of a married woman. Rolling Stone magazine rated this the #1 best television show of all time. And that was our show for today. What do you think? What was your favorite mafia-based television series? Is there a show that you think should be on this list that wasn't? Let me know all your thoughts on Mafia television series in the comments section below. And while you're at it, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel, click that little bell to stay informed, and check out the Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise, which is also in the comments. Until next time, this is Kevin Gibbons saying, live long and prosper. May the force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.